hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
Here we go, career starts up we go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
Welcome to Goat Talk Live.
I don't know. I get a little tired of hearing, right?
The 99 is terrible. Here, I'm lacking for some reason. It's real white and flabby.
WTF. What are we doing?
Eddie, I tell everybody who'll listen that we're a really big deal.
Continues to grow and grow and grow.
Woo! Here we are, Goat Talk Live here on Above the Yellow Line Media, ATYL Media, and look who we got. We got Pat and we got Jamie
And
in the dealio tonight. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all doing good?
Outstanding. Glad to be here. First time doing it on the Above the Yellow Line Media, so excited. Of course, we
I'm all right.
probably could have coordinated hats there, Pat. I thought we were a Goat Locker freaking.
Well, I thought,
deal
you
here.
know, if each one of us wore something different, it'd be kind of cool, you know. Like,
Okay.
and plus, this hat brought me some luck this week, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it on.
Yeah, winning at Daytona with a busted car. Yeah, I'd say it brought you some really good luck.
Yeah, well, if y'all are new to the channel, if you're not familiar with Goat Locker Racing is a racing league that is for veterans and a nonprofit that is built around the idea of sending sim rigs, but honestly offering a place for veterans to come and race and have a good time. And that's what Goat Locker is. I want to thank our sponsor for this podcast, Save22. Man, I can't wait to talk to John next week. Looking forward to that. And I want to thank Taylor Kitchens for her allowing us to be a part of her media group. It's been really cool the last couple weeks, and so really excited. Hope y'all having a good night and looking forward to having a little conversation here. So what's up, guys?
Well, I think we're kind of classing it down a little this week. I mean, we had Taylor last week, and she kind of elevated everything, and now it's just the three of us. So I don't really know how this thing's gonna go, but we're sure gonna have some fun with it. That's for sure.
I did find it strange though with Taylor on here that Eddie was really having a hard time, getting words out and stuff. Not sure what was going on there. He was very nervous.
Well, I felt like it was a pretty big episode. I'm not sure if Taylor was a big part of it or I felt a lot of pressure from Patrick and maybe even a little bit you just to make it good. So I was doing my best. I was nervous. I was probably talking way too much, which I think Pat chastised me after the thing and said, hey man, I'd like to talk every once in a while. So we're going
every once in a blue moon. I mean, just give me 3 words at a time. And
I am president of this damn thing. I'd like to talk every once in a while. Well, guys, it's Daytona week so far. It's been going as expected, huh?
It's going for sure. I mean, we kind of almost had a decent race last night. There was at least some positive things last night. I'll give it that. Still, it doesn't sound like the late model race tonight went too well. Seeing a lot of soapbox action from that. So maybe next week you'll have some fresh material to pull from because it's lighting up right now.
That's what we're hoping for. That's why I think we scheduled it that way, is to make sure that Soapbox has a lot built up in the queue. But Yeah, I mean, it's good to kind of get Daytona out of the way. I like having Daytona being in every series and late models being at Bristol, sort of like having Daytona on the schedule. Very similar in the way that they race, but I like it. I like having Daytona, get it out of the way. That way next week's not Daytona, and then the next week you just kind of, it's just kind of like ripping off the Band-Aid saying, look, this is gonna be tough. There's 40 guys in almost each series, which is crazy, by the way, huh?
Yeah, it's a little wild. We do we tend to change a couple things up every season, and we changed some things up again this season. And true to form, there's a lot of guys in Goat Locker Racing right now, guys and gals, that really want to try different things, want to do different things. We had a bunch of guys step up as well, said, "Hey, if I put this together, can we do it?" And we were like, "Heck yeah, go do it." And Jacob Lemke, threw together the late model series, and that's been a whole heck of a lot of fun. And I was incredibly surprised to see how many people wanted to be a part of that. And then you go down to Saturday now, because Goat Locker didn't have enough things going on. Now we've got a sports car series, and we're like, and Tim Jones was like, "Hey, let's throw this together." He ran the MX-5s, and we're like, "All right, cool, let's throw it together." And I'm like, "I'll throw together some graphics for you and everything too." And holy smokes, is that thing filling up?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, and I know, Jamie, we were pretty pleasantly surprised last night how many guys showed up to the Cruising Classics Next Gen series. We were a little skeptical making a premiere series, a paid series, how many guys would return, how many drivers would be there. And man, we had a heck of a field last night, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we pretty much had everybody there. I'm trying to think. There might have been one missing.
Even Ryan showed
Yeah.
up. Y'all didn't know Ryan was going to be there. He showed
Well, we
up.
didn't expect Ryan. Ryan unfortunately was dealing with his dog. He was at the emergency vet yesterday, so Ryan didn't think he was going to make it, but he did end up making it. But yeah, so we pretty much had a full field, which, I mean, honestly, after last season, we never had a full field in the trucks, and people paid money for that. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure why you would pay money for something and not show up to it, but whatever. So, but yeah, so it was great to see. And like I said, we did have some good racing last night. I'd say last night was probably the best so far this week, and hopefully tomorrow night in the trucks we'll do even better.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, Daytona, it always brings in the folks early in the year. I mean, it's the perfect storm of a solid full fields. I hope everybody stays around. I think y'all have done some pretty good initiatives to try to solve that problem, which every league deals with, which is how do we keep those fields all the way through? And that's always the challenge for any league I've ever been in. It's been the same way. Once you get to the playoffs, everybody just stops showing up, and that's kind of a bummer. We've always tried to figure that out, though, and I think y'all have come up with some pretty good ideas, and we're still learning, I think, and I think maybe this year we can kind of turn that around.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of just the nature of, I think, really the time of the year that our series always end at, right? Our season one is going to end in May. Weather's getting better. People have more stuff to do, right? So if you're not in playoff contention, if you've been bumped out, if you didn't make it in, whatever the case may be, now all of a sudden there's other things to look at other than, am I going to go in and run this race that I don't have a chance to win anything from? And then the same thing comes around on our second full season of the year. We're getting into the holidays, right? So, people are going to find other things to do when they're no longer in contention. I think it's just something we're going to have to deal with. We're trying, especially on the paid side, we've implemented some attendance policies with that. So maybe that will keep the fields a little bigger. As far as the free series go, I don't know that we'll be able to solve it, because if there's no motivation to be there, people are naturally just going to find something else to do.
Yeah.
I think we should, and I've been working with, I reached out to McDonald's corporate about getting some gift cards. So
Really?
if we could get some free chicken nuggets, like if you show up to like 11 races or 12 races, you get a free 6-piece chicken McNugget. I think that's an idea.
There you go.
It's an idea for sure. Yeah, it's for sure an idea.
Who doesn't like chicken nuggets? Come on, man.
Let's go Chick-fil-A. Yeah, y'all a little bit more bougie than McDonald's.
Oh.
Come on now.
And I have tried to think of of participation incentives that we could come up with. Problem is the seasons always sneak up on us. It seems like we know when they're coming, but they always just seem like, oh, we're surprised. Season's starting, right?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that never really gets any traction to come forward with and be like, hey, let's offer this to the driver or drivers, how we want to do it, that show up for the most races across the board. Come up with something to give them. And I think eventually we should do that. What that's going to look like, I don't know. And again, it's going to be another thing that we've got to track, which, is another burden that we put on ourselves to do that. So honestly, that's probably why I really don't ever bring it up, because I'm like, crap. Then we're gonna have to sit there and actually look at who shows up to all these races, and God forbid if we didn't give somebody credit for a race and they didn't get the prize or something, we would never hear the end of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even at 40, 42, I think 42 on one night, I can't remember what night. I think it was Tuesday
Xfinity.
night. Yeah, had 42 people. It's
Mhm.
crazy. But even if you lose half the field, that's still a really healthy sim racing field. And to have, I mean, you guys are racing every single night of the week right now. So, yeah, pretty
Which is
solid.
insane.
I'm pretty stoked to see what the GT3 series was able to draw in. I was surprised how many people grab numbers pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've tried to do the sports car thing before. I mean, we were really stoked about doing a GT3, and we ended up bailing on that when the Gen 4 car came out, or the Gen 3 car, whatever it is, when that car came out, because nobody was showing up to the sports car thing. So, we switched midstream on that. So we got a ton of people in there. Hopefully we fill out some races, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do them all, but kind of having fun with this Daytona stuff. So looking forward to it. At least getting into some of those races.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, this weekend, we got something going on with the GT3 cars. How y'all? I mean, you got 3 out of the 5 team members for Goat Locker, the 24-hour race in here tonight, and just a couple days away. Just about a day away now. So, y'all ready? I hope y'all are.
Well, I get ready is probably going to be, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and you forgot to mention, Eddie, we have the 3 worst of the 5 drivers in the podcast here tonight. The 2 ringers aren't here tonight.
Yeah,
Cody McElwain and Ryan Pendleton.
They're getting their much needed rest.
They should be. We want them rested.
Yeah.
We want them ready to rock and roll. I mean, Cody was an absolute animal last year when we won our split and everything, which was if you've never raced in the 24 hours of Daytona, it is an accomplishment no matter where you finish. To be able to bring a car home after 24 hours is incredible. And I remember this is going to end up being our 5th year doing it.
I think so.
Yeah, because we did it in 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah. This is our 5th year doing it. And I remember the first year that we did it, just how I felt when we finished. And I don't think we finished very well at all. I don't even remember where we finished, quite honestly. But to accomplish that was incredible. And it's a whole lot of fun, man. You get 4, 5, 6 guys together. You're swapping in and out of the car. Somebody's up at 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to keep their eyes open, and you're trying to encourage them and spot for them and all this other kind of crazy stuff. Some other guy's taking a nap, trying to get some rest because he's got to get it in the car at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's just a super, super cool experience.
Yeah. I like that. I love the teamwork more than the racing itself. That's what I like the most. I love the teamwork of working with 3 or 4 different guys. You got the spotter. I'm spotting before, and then I'll get in the car, and somebody else is get in the car next. They're gonna spot for me, and I can't hardly sleep. I wake up like early the next morning and jump in and run in there. All right, where are we at? So
Yeah, I was talking to some buddies a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about this to them. And people that don't do sim racing, they just, they're 24-hour race. Oh, you're just sitting there. Okay, I don't care if it's real or not. Keeping that car going on the track for 24 straight hours is hard to do, no matter what you're doing. I mean, yes, we don't have mechanical failures per se in iRacing that the thing's just going to break, right? But to turn that many laps, not tear the car up, and to get it to the finish line, and win like we did last year, it's a big deal. Especially how many splits were there last year? 32, 30. I think we might have been the 31st split. I don't know. But I mean, who cares? That means out of all the thousands of people that entered that race, there's only 31 winners.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so real or not, it's a big deal, and it's an accomplishment.
I just love the special events in like the whole iRacing special event calendar is just really cool. And this one in particular, I mean, the Indy 500 definitely, which I think they'll be able to actually call it that this year because they got the rights back. But I think it's just cool because it's such a worldwide event. Like you've got so many different time slots that start off, and then you got all kinds of different countries that are represented in these races, and big teams, little teams, just people coming together and just having a good time. Man, it's really cool. I'm never not amazed at where we have gotten with sim racing. It's crazy, and I think that's why people don't understand it because they just don't know how far it's come. They think it's still, you know, you got a controller and you're, you know, bouncing off the wall, you know.
I wish that's all I had was a controller.
We're still bouncing off the wall, but I mean, we're not doing it with a controller.
100% still bouncing off the wall. Sometimes, you know, some people make you bounce off the wall, Jamie Perkins, you know, but hey, it's still a whole heck of a lot of fun. And I think, you know, they always put the stats out afterwards. You see the cool graphics iRacing puts out. I want to say it is easily over 10,000 people that participate in it.
Yeah, it's wild.
Each and every year. And, you know, they put out, you know, how many laps were turned, how many miles, you know, how many hours were raced and all that. And it's just, it's insane to see that. And yeah, like Jamie was talking about, it's kind of nerve wracking. You know, each and every year I start the car for the team. I don't know how I got that job, but it's just, I've stuck with it. And that is the most nerve wracking time of the race because everybody's grouped together. And you're the first guy in the car, so you don't want to be the first guy to wad it up, you know, and be the guy that they're like, yeah, you did that to us, you know, so you want to get out of the car clean and be like, hey, I did my job, and move on from there. So no, I'm so psyched every year this comes around, and we put a team together and we get out there and race, and I love all the preparation that goes into it. So yeah, when Saturday morning rolls around, and we dust off all the Daytona racing that we've done all week long. And we hit Daytona one more time for 24 hours, but at least it ain't the big oval. And get out there and have some fun in that Corvette. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a blast.
Yeah. Well, and I just, when I run those races, all I really care about is that I'm not the one that bends it. Somebody's going to do it. It's going to happen. The traffic is just too much. You know, and they kind of lax the damage model a little bit so you can actually repair some of this stuff. They kind of give a little extra. Normally you'd be out of the race, but you can go in there and fix 45 minutes of damage and kind of get a drivable car again. But yeah, I just don't want to be the guy that bends it. That's always the one that I'm just like, man, please don't let me be the guy. let somebody else do it first. You know, right. Like, you know, I got my last time that I raced with y'all was maybe a few seasons ago or something. Yeah. I remember going to bed. Nobody had done anything. We were in the lead. And I was like, I got through with my stint. And I said, oh, God, and we're still good. Nobody's hit the wall. And then I said, oh, man, I'm going to do it in the morning. I just know it. And I get up in the morning, and Barcus had put it in the wall. And I was like, okay, good. I'm not have to worry about it at all.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to the, you know, we've kicked the seasons off around here. Yeah, it's been Daytona. It's you know, we put out the public service announcement at the beginning of every season. Hey, we're going to start it off at a plate race. It's either going to go really good for you or it's going to go really bad for you. So stay calm. It's a bunch of new drivers. Everybody's getting used to everybody. Everybody's kicking the rust off. They're probably not going to be the greatest races. And then out of nowhere, the soapbox starts lighting up. You know, and I love it in some ways. Guys are passionate and, you know, and all the other kind of crazy stuff. In other ways, it's like, you know, come on, calm down a little bit. We're here to have a little bit of fun. You know, we're here to support a bigger cause. And Daytona will be over. It's going to be okay. Grab you a little binky, you know, head over to the corner, suck your thumb for a little while. It's going to be okay. And then come out of the corner and, you know, get back on track next week. And we're going to, you know, hit a normal schedule, I will say.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why people get mad or upset or yell or anything when something bad happens at Daytona. I don't get it. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next topic.
Pat, you said words last night I've never heard you say.
Well, to be fair, I said the first thing and y'all started laughing, and so I embellished a little bit and gave you a little bit extra. At least that's what I tell
I
myself.
mean, we appreciate it for sure. It was quite amazing.
Yeah, you didn't know I spoke French, did you?
No, the smooth, polished Eddie Smith.
Yeah.
Loses his cool just there for a minute, and he started speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Praise God, baby. Come on. We got to love Daytona. That's why we love it. Well, let's, I don't know. Let's talk about Go to the Week. I've kind of skipped over that the last couple, so I'm going to jump right into Go to the Week, and let's jump right into that, because that's something that we love doing here, is sort of highlighting those that have done really cool things, stepped up, said something really nice to somebody. It really is in the eye of the beholder. So whatever you guys want. And I'm going to start since I usually forget. So I'm going to go ahead and go first and say that mine is going to be Logan Threckeld. And now, he's not a Goat Locker driver. He is a broadcaster that on Friday nights, which tomorrow night we'll get him broadcasting, but he put together a fundraiser for his friend who is battling cancer and has been really fighting hard to put that together. And it's going off right now on V-Speed. And, he put a lot of work into it, and a lot of folks helped him out. So Logan Threckeld is going to be my Go to the Week, putting himself out there, raising money, things for his friend, doing stuff for his community. That's what Goat Locker is anyway. And so he fits right in. So Logan Threckeld is going to be my Go to the Week.
That's awesome, man. And I was happy when he reached out to us, and he kind of gingerly asked if he could advertise it there on Discord. And I'm like, dude, yeah, all day long. And as a matter of fact, let me donate 5 driver entries as well on behalf of Goat Locker. I love that stuff, man. Absolutely love it. So hope they have a great event here tonight. And I guess since I'm the one bumping my gums right now, I'll do my Go to the Week. So my Go to the Week is Jacob Linke. He kind of got thrown into the fire a little bit. He raised his hand, and I'm not really sure he fully understood what he was raising his hand for. He said, "Yeah, let me jump into the admin team. Let me put a late model stock series together, and let me do some race control as well." And yeah, I think that poor young man has been pulling his hair out and all kinds of crazy stuff. But Jacob, you've been doing amazing work. It takes a lot to make things happen around here, and I am so incredibly proud that you stepped up and have been doing some amazing work. I know it's frustrating. You just finished up with your late model stock race at Bristol, and I can only imagine that hopefully nothing's broken at your house, but maybe something got broke. Who knows? And but I mean, yeah, Jacob's doing amazing work, and he's keeping his head in the game too. So that's my Go to the Week. Good old Jacob Linke.
What you got, Jamie?
My turn. I'm gonna go with Tim Jones. Actually, we could almost nominate Tim Jones for Goat of the Year. Tim Jones drove all the way from Cincinnati to be at the car show in Indianapolis. When he had just joined the league, he did that. But we're gonna just say for this week, that dude's taking on race control responsibilities. He's ramrodding this supercar, the sports car series. Is coming in 2 weeks on Saturday nights. Got his hands involved in everything, and he's a big time active in the Discord. He kind of killed me today. His comment, I was dying laughing when Jim Coffin said something about dying on road courses, and Tim said, "Well, get your affairs in order." Thought that was pretty good. So Tim Jones is my Go to the Week. Appreciate everything he's helping us with, and look forward to working with him a lot more.
It's a very race control heavy Go to the Week. I love it.
No
Go to the week
job.
Yeah, no Go to the Week for Eddie for being the race control, I guess. So that's fine.
No. Again, Eddie, it's a thankless job. You get no thanks tonight.
Well, thanks those guys. As always, Go to the Week. I love that one just because I love highlighting folks. And I do want to jump right into this right here. I want to talk about our veteran spotlight. And Brian Froheiger, I think is what it is. I'm working on it, but we'll get it. But, man, he has been just jumped right into the community. Kind of fits right in. I like it, and we appreciate him. He is the veteran spotlight of this month, and I kind of wanted to show a picture that we just got in Discord.
Right on.
Got his Goat Locker shirt on. Look at that right there.
I'm not sure what's really happening right there. Something's happening.
So Well,
I'm
but
I'm at a little lost for words, but man, good on him. That Goat Locker Racing T-shirt looks really great.
looks good on it, man. That's the last well, not the last, but the previous recipient of the Simrig giveaway, and that's Brian Frog Higer. They call him Frog, so that's his nickname. So I definitely want to appreciate him, shout him out. He's the veteran spotlight of this month, and yeah. So, well, what else we got to talk about, guys? We got anything going on in the nonprofit? Any fun stuff, Pat, that we can talk about?
Yeah, I think absolutely. And then me and Jamie got a couple things that we could talk about. I mean, it's been an incredibly busy off season. We talked about some things last week. It's been an incredibly busy week for me this week as well. You know, there's a ton of support that comes into this, and I talk about this all the time. You know, when you run a nonprofit, it's all about getting out there and talking to people, and then these people and these organizations and these companies open up their hearts and their wallets and says, I believe in your mission. Here is a check for X amount of dollars. And we try to be incredibly great stewards of that. And so for me, it is always awesome. You know, obviously I go talk to these companies and organizations and they say, yeah, we love you. I don't know why, but they do. And, you know, we get the money in and we start doing all these things with it. But when I get to go back and talk to them again and I get some of the feedback from them, and it's an incredible experience for me. So I had just a phenomenal call with iRacing this morning. Last January, we announced that we were partnered with iRacing. It was like it was one of the biggest steps forward we had taken besides getting our 501c3. And we did a lot with iRacing last year. iRacing, you know, fully funded all the veteran sim rigs for us. Everybody got a free year subscription. Everybody got a couple $100 added to their account. They got our veteran sim rigs. So iRacing did a lot for us. And, you know, I always email back and forth with them, you know, and they always take care of us. And so I actually got to get on a call with them today and talk a little bit about some things. And iRacing is extremely veteran friendly company. And they absolutely love what we are doing. They love that our mission is based on their platform. And it was incredible to talk to them about that and hear how much they love and respect us. You know, they have X amount of dollars that they give out, as, you know, for charities and things along those lines. And, you know, maybe I shouldn't be saying this out loud, but they were like, you guys are always at the top of our list. What you guys are doing is incredible. The way that you give away these sim rigs, the way that you're utilizing our platform to better people's lives and bring them together in a community is absolutely incredible. You know, and then they're like, what else can we do for you? And I'm like, those are the moments in time, Eddie, that I just am dumbfounded. You know, because here is iRacing, this multi-million-dollar company. You name any professional driver in the world, and they're connected to them. They are as big time gets in the racing world, period. Mm-hmm. And there's little old me sitting in Goat Locker Racing's world headquarters, my house. You know, and they're like, what else can we do for you? You know, what else? How else can we, you know, do some things for you to help, you know, get more people involved with you. So you're going to start seeing, you know, so I guess it's the big news drop of the day. I've got plenty of them to talk about. But that's the big news drop of the day is you're going to start seeing some of Goat Locker Racing stuff on iRacing official social media. You're going to start seeing some of our social media on theirs. So it's going to get a much bigger reach. Some of our special events that we do, like our charity races, is going to be broadcast on iRacing's official channels.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was incredible to talk to them. And as I'm going through this conversation and I'm asking these questions and they're like, what else can we do? And I'm like, well, we've kind of, you know, all three of us have talked about how cool it would be to broadcast one of our races on iRacing's channels.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of gingerly approached that conversation. And I'm like, well, you know, we do these charity events and could we, you know, be able to simulcast that on your social media platforms? And like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay then.
Yeah. Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so
that's
a lot
huge.
of really cool stuff. Yeah.
Well, I love that these are partnerships. You know what I'm saying? These are partnerships. Yeah, iRacing gets something out of it. There's no doubt about it. They get you are hand feeding them customers. You're putting a sim rig, all the things that are barriers of entry for most people who have a PlayStation, Xbox. The barrier of entry is I got to buy a computer, monitors, a sim rig, wheel, pedals. You are clearing those barriers out, and so there's no doubt that iRacing, it's a great. You guys, and I said this before we went live. You guys make it where they don't have to do anything. You do all the work, and while iRacing is obviously doing a lot. You guys are making it so easy on them. So I mean, kudos to y'all too for making it such a they want to be a part of something like that. So definitely, man, that's cool. That's exciting to hear. That's the first time I'm hearing about it. So I'm kind of processing it all.
Well, do we want to bring up the other part there?
Oh, I'll leave that for you. But the last thing I'll say about that, so last year we did 6 sim rigs, and iRacing funded all those and all those types of things. And if you think about the dollar value that went behind it, it is very significant. A year's subscription plus $200, it's a pretty significant contribution. Well, they agreed to terms today to do 12 this year. So
Wow.
I've already got the 12 codes. They already sent them to me for the free 1-year subscriptions. They said, hey, when you give those out, you give us their iRacing ID, we'll load their account with, the couple $100 and off you go. So they already agreed to do 12. I've already got the 12 codes.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just, it's incredible. And then, Jamie's got another really, really cool piece of news as well.
Yeah, so we kind of talked about it last year. We thought this might happen sooner, but then there was some little hiccups and a little miscommunication, I think, or maybe misunderstanding on our part on how it would actually work and stuff. But come the next build in iRacing, which will come out in March. Yeah.
Yep.
Goat Locker Racing logo will be in there, will be available on iRacing. So where do brand new people get their first taste of, their custom paint schemes? It's in the iRacing paint shop. And that's pretty much first place everybody goes when they get on iRacing. So Goat Locker Racing will be right in there for all these new people to iRacing to see. And we're going to figure out some way to get the website, or we'll get something added to this logo so that they know where to come find us. Not just, hey, what's this Goat Locker Racing thing? They'll be able to come find us, and hopefully, it helps us grow too. So
how about
that's going to be freaking awesome to have.
Heck yeah, man.
Our logo in iRacing.
Yeah. How proud that must make y'all feel to know that you'll be on. Some people are go in there and click on the little drop down box and click Goat Locker Racing as their stock, Miata or stock, street stock or whatever, and be able to put Goat Locker right on there. That's pretty freaking sweet, I must say so myself. And a lot of people in chat very excited about that. I want to shout out them. We'll continue on, but I wanted to shout out folks in chat: Jonathan Cofield, Jesse Whittington, glad to have you. Winner last night, Timothy Stubblefield. Thomas Parker, looks like Nicholas, Alex Cruz is in there, Jacob Linke, TJ. So glad to have everybody in chat. Don't feel free to shout out in chat. We'll kind of holler you out, but appreciate you guys watching live. I know a lot of people go back and watch this later, but watching live is a cool experience. It's cool to interact with y'all. Kind of want to, is there any more nonprofit news? I don't want to jump the gun. Did y'all have anything else you want to say?
Is it a 3-hour show? No.
Okay. No. Well, then we'll save some of it then. Save some of it then, because I want to ask this. This is sort of a left turn, but I want to include chat some way. Real quick, little caveat. We'll go right back to the normal stuff. How do y'all feel about Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Chris Stapleton working together on the Traveler Whiskey number 40 next gen car?
Well, one, there was some chat about that in the Discord. I am a Justin Allgaier fan. I think he's an incredible person. Period. And I think for me personally, it was awesome to finally see him win an Xfinity championship. And man, did he win it! I mean, he
tried to give it away.
He tried to.
My goodness.
Then I'm yelling at the screen and all
Yeah.
kinds of crazy stuff because he is such an incredible person.
Yeah.
And anytime you see him, he's got a smile on his face. And, so for him and Junior Motorsports to put that number 40 entry together with Traveler Whiskey, I think it's going to be awesome. I heard some things too about, well, he was in Larson's car for the 600 and didn't do so well. He was doing really well.
Yeah.
He got thrown into Larson's car, at a last minute type thing, and he was doing really well when he got out of that car.
He unlapped himself and got up to like 15th or so. Like he was learning so fast. I mean, it's the longest race of the year, but he was really making moves.
Yeah, so I'm an Allgaier fan, and so for him to get a shot in a Cup car, at the Daytona 500, I'm all for it. All for it.
And to be in a Junior Motorsports, fielded car, that's history in my eyes, to have a Junior Motorsports entry into the Daytona 500 is huge. I mean, I think that's so good for the sport, and hopefully everybody kind of supports it fully because we need Junior in the sport, in my opinion. And he's been great in the Xfinity Series. He's been great in the booth, but I can't say I wouldn't love to see Junior Motorsports in the Cup Series itself. So I'm really excited about that.
Jamie has no opinion on it.
Yeah, Jamie, what do you think?
I mean,
Are you a hater?
It's cool. No, not at all. I mean, it's awesome that Chris Stapleton's, getting involved and giving him some backing. They say singers buy houses and songwriters buy jets. I guess if you're a singer-songwriter, then you buy a NASCAR team. So that's awesome for Junior. It's definitely an opportunity for him to kind of. It's an opportunity he wasn't probably going to be able to do on his own to get out of Xfinity, and unless he partnered up with Hendricks or something along those lines. But I don't think that's really something that he would ever been interested in doing, right? So I think this is awesome opportunity for him, and hopefully we see more than just Daytona 500.
It seemed like in the interview with Chris, or right before it, or there was an interview with Kelly, and there seemed like they were just kind of bouncing around the idea, man, we'd like to do this more. Well, hopefully this opportunity comes up more often, and I love it. I love the idea of letting Allgaier get in there. I don't know. I'm excited for the Daytona 500 already, just because I'm about to die for some freaking racing. And I posted on Facebook a few months ago. I said I won't be happy until racing starts again. So we get the Roar this weekend, which we'll be racing. Then we get the 24 hours next weekend. I'll be excited for that. I'm ready to get Daytona, and that just makes me even more excited. So I'm pretty pumped now. I hope they do well. I know that the expectation is not to win probably, but you never know. You never know at plate track.
Yeah. It'll be exciting for sure. And, it's not going to be too much longer here, a couple weeks, and the clash at Bowman Gray is going to be upon us as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, we got to bring our favorite segment back. I don't know. We've been too far without it. We got to bring it back, and so let's jump into the soapbox and see what a little bit of this first part of the season has been. And Pat, if you want to start us off, I'm gonna let you go.
Eddie, well, at least now I know what's acceptable in this league.
Didn't you drive through the 24 car earlier? Deliberately wrecking someone is frowned upon in GLR. But what happened between you and I wasn't deliberate. You decided to drive me off the corner, and you parked it in front of me on the last lap. Now, I'm sorry that happened, but it wasn't intentional on my part.
And I apologized for that. He lifted more and quicker than I was expecting. It was not deliberate, and if I remember correctly, he didn't even spin and kept going because I didn't keep hitting him.
You got more.
Oh, I got more?
Yeah.
I got to keep going?
Yeah. It's another paragraph. They went long on this a little bit.
They did go. They went hard on this one. Hang on. If it was just the first lap, I'd give you the benefit of the doubt. But after that hit, I was about to save it. But you hit me a second time. First time, yeah, accident. Second hit?
Never said it was deliberate. Just stating you two are not a professional. How much time between the first touch and the second? While you're bleeding even more speed after the initial contact trying to save a corner you initially overdrove?
Save wasn't from an overdriven corner. It was from a hit from behind. So shenanigans aren't deliberate? Got it.
Those are two separate sentences. Sorry if by putting them one after the other you got confused. Why didn't you write what came after? What happened between you and I wasn't intentional. You washed up, you overdrove the corner, you parked in front of me, evidence is posted as a lighthearted whoops moment. I hit you center mass because you slowed way down from overdriving the corner. If you see the very beginning, I almost right reared your butt. Could have, but didn't. You also see I hold my lane because I slowed for the corner and for you. You moved lanes and I had to slow more mid-corner because you got tight from trying to mess with me. The second hit was less than a second and I was already in your butt while you were pointed at the infield. So how can the second be intentional?
Hey, it's your story. Tell it any way you like. I'd pretty much forgotten all about it and didn't really say much about it. Not until you post a video, apparently, to show your pride in taking me out. Otherwise, I would have already forgotten about it and moved on. But like I said, no worries. I don't hold grudges. You be you.
It's not a story when the video is right there. You overdrove. Period. Next time, practice getting trapped on the inside and not washing up. It's what I have to do to be a back marker. So much pride. I actually smiled 5 times from watching it. Now I'm out of socks. I entertained this discussion because you claimed this was acceptable in the league while dismissing your own lack of self-awareness.
Okay, Boo. Like I said, you be you. And I could send you some more socks if you
Hey, all right. Return to the soapbox, and boy, it was a good one. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, the soapbox is not us making fun of folks. We leave the names out intentionally, and it's just reading funny Discord after the fact. People get upset. We're all competitive, and you know what? We're all friends after the fact. We can talk trash and get over it the next day. But the soapbox is just a fun way of just kind of getting that out, reminding folks that, hey, it's not that serious. Luckily, nobody recorded what I said last night, and it didn't end up in the soapbox. And we've all done it. We've all been there. So thanks to Pat for backing me up on that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened with the whole sock situation. That's a little.
Some of this is edited.
I'm gonna say it's confusing to me, but I've seen some people do some interesting things with socks, so I feel bad about the socks.
It was heavily edited, I will say. We got to keep it clean now that we're on the ATYL Media Network. We got to make sure that we keep it PG-13. So a little editing going on there, but use your imagination. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So this week we kind of talked about the races a little bit so far. I don't have a GOAT Tech of the week this week. We'll get on that. We'll try to figure that out. Kind of. I think Pat's got some stuff coming that we can kind of talk about. Oh, you got one?
Well, I think
this
is another great way to kind of engage the audience as well. One of the things that I hear a lot of, and I think we could do in a future episode of GOAT Tech, is our Discord has grown so exponentially. When you have 7 different racing series, and then you've got the nonprofit section, and then you got some just fun section. I mean, you've got to do a lot of scrolling up and down in Goat Locker Racing to find what you hopefully want to find or need to find or any of those types of things. So I think it would probably be beneficial too, that we could kind of step some people through some things in Discord, maybe how to close some things down so they don't have to see everything. We've tried to do a very good job of, putting, tags with people. So if you're in the Xfinity series and only in the Xfinity series, maybe you just see that. So I think there's, and we've got some great guys out there that know a lot about Discord as well. So if anybody in the audience, anybody tuned in chat right now, have got some questions about Discord and maybe, using it more effectively, or, because we got a lot going on. It's hard for us to keep up with it. I can only imagine for new people stepping in and going, what the heck is all of this? And then you see a random picture of Brian the Frog in some silkies and a Goat Locker t-shirt, and you're like, I don't know what I showed up for, but this is going to be one heck of a party.
Yeah, people are talking about socks. Yeah, and also if you're watching this, if you watch back, if you got something you want to know about, I mean, we're not pros or anything, but we can help with a lot of different things. If you got a tech problem or tech, question or something that you've always been interested about iRacing or how to do something or whatever, or even like you said, something with Discord or whatever. If you got something like that, ask it. Maybe we'll end up on Goat Tech, Goat Tips, whatever we're going to call it. And that'll be something fun to kind of help educate or try to get stuff. Go ahead.
I think we settled on the fact that Goat Tips is a food and Goat Tech is what we're going to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we settled on it. It sounded like you settled on it, and I'm just going to follow suit.
Well, I'm trying to pitch for Logan a little bit here too, and his Big Fish, barbecue and all the other kind of. Yeah, I mean, you get you some Goat Tips and some of Logan Sturgeon's like Big Fish barbecue. It might be good. You never know. His sauce isn't, but the Goat Tips might be.
Oh my god!
I said that out loud.
They always say that the Tex-Mex restaurants have goat milk as their a main ingredient for their queso dip. Is that true? Does anybody know that?
I have no idea.
I've heard of that. So that's about the only thing I want from goats is this queso dip from a Tex-Mex place. So
I think that's a Mississippi thing, man.
Hey, we do the best we can. Look, we're 50th in education. You think we know where we're getting milk from? It's all we just get it where we can get it. Well, I kind of want to show off a couple things. I wanted to show off some stuff.
Leave the goats alone, Eddie.
Huh?
Leave the goats alone.
I'm going to leave the goats alone. Let's take a look at some of these championship trophies. I meant to show this last week, and we didn't get a chance, and we'll try to get it on the screen.
But that's a really great one right there.
How about that?
Yeah.
He wears that to work, right?
That's PG-13.
Sorry.
Here we go.
Sorry about that. Oops.
Here we go.
My bad. But yeah, no, we'll go back to this one. Yeah, we'll go back to this one. I wanted to highlight the championship belt. If you don't know much about Goat Locker, really cool, these different trophies. Now, I got the cheapo trophy because I didn't win a good no, I'm kidding.
Hey! Yeah. Boy, it's a tough crowd in here tonight.
No, I'm kidding. I'm super appreciative. The belts though are the coolest. There's no doubt about it. When you talk about really cool trophies and stuff, NASCAR guys talk about the really cool trophies. You got the guitar, you've got the sword, you got the grandfather clock. All real trophies that people are memorable. And I think the wrestling belts are definitely some of the most memorable trophies.
Yeah, that's an. I don't know when we came up with that, Jamie. It was
Rebels. We took it from Rebels. Yeah, that's what
Matt Geis.
Yeah, that's what Matt was doing.
Yeah, that's right. And we decided to kind of bring it along. And really, it started out as an internal thing for the team. Right. So if somebody won their first championship on the Goat Locker Racing proper team, me and Jamie got together and we bought him a championship belt. And so there's a couple floating around for sure. Jake's definitely got one. Cody's got one. Cody's got one.
Ryan's got one. You've got a couple.
I've got a couple. And then when we decided to elevate the truck series, last season, we thought, what a cool way to do it. The guys are paying into this thing, so you got to make the trophy at the end of the season something cool. And we was like, we got to bring the belts in. And they are, if you've, I don't know, man, I think we all grew up watching wrestling. I think we all grew up watching wrestling. Some of us still watch wrestling. And everybody's had that little, dream in the back of their head to walk into the ring carrying a championship belt over their shoulder. And these jokers are the real deal, man.
Yeah.
So they are super cool.
Yeah, they look awesome, and it's definitely one that you want to have. I mean, I like the view here of throwing it over your shoulder. That's kind of the way I'd want to hold a trophy, is just chunk it over my shoulder, give them the finger. It's a pretty sweet trophy. So now what we get for the ARCA series is that right there, and that guy looks really excited about it.
He does.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
really.
looks. Yeah.
I think here's the other one. That's
He doesn't look so excited.
That's Jason Taylor right there. That's the Wednesday. Yep. So
yeah.
So cool. Want to show off the trophies. You do get something for winning around here. Of course, you get really awesome bragging rights. That's all I care about.
Well, we. I mean, who doesn't want a trophy, right?
Yeah.
It's just something cool to do at the end of the season. And they kind of memorialize that season and those types of things. But so yeah, this season there are 2 belts up for grabs. The Premier Cup Series on Wednesday night, a belt is up for grabs, and then of course the Truck Series on Friday, another belt will be up for grabs. So there's 2 of them up for grabs this season. Me and Jamie are talking a little bit too. For the Premier Series, we might do some regular season championship stuff. I got some really cool ideas for some even more interesting, kind of trophies and things along those lines. The trophies we've done have been amazing. I try to change up the style every year, so if you're a repeat champion, you don't get the same trophy. I know you don't know anything about that, Eddie. It's the one trophy on your shelf. It's okay.
That's because y'all make me broadcast all the ones y'all run in.
I mean, that's kind of on you too. I mean, I don't make you do anything.
I'll see how y'all try to keep me out of y'all's Premier Series. I'll see how it is. I done stuck in the Wednesday one though. I had to pull a bunch of fast ones to get out of the broadcasting, then to broadcast another league, then to get rid of them broadcasting so I could run the next gen series. And so it was a long time coming. A lot of strings I had to pull to get that done. But I'm coming for one of them belts.
Well, hey, bring it. I'll happily have your name engraved on one.
Well. Let's go through a couple. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, but I want to highlight the winners. Something we said we would do each week is we're not going to go through and talk about every single race, break down every single caution and all that kind of stuff, because we've got so much other stuff we want to talk about in these podcasts. But I want to highlight those winners from this week. And Mike George got the win. No surprise at Daytona. Mike George started on the pole, won the race in the Glove Station ARCA Series. And David Calvert was your amateur division winner. So 2 winners already on Monday night. Of course, we got this new Pro-Am division that I'm really excited about because I came up with the idea. And we're really excited to see how that's going to play out. These guys have paired up a pro with an amateur, making a team of 2 drivers. Doesn't really matter as far as the overall championship, but you add those points together each and every week, and we'll have a pro-am champion at the end of the season in the ARCA series. But I think I'm pretty excited about. I think it's cool. $50 to the winner. And Mama Ellingson said that she was going to make a T-shirt with the team's name on it. So these guys got to get their team names out there. There's some good ones so far. There's some really bad ones already.
Yeah,
but
there's some ones that make you scratch your head a little bit. And you're like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I think one of them is the double D's. That's Daniel Cunningham and David Calvert. So not a Dan Chance with Chance Taylor and Daniel Kirkeel.
I like that.
Not bad, huh? That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. There's a curdled milk one too. That's
It's
a little. There's more to that than just curdled milk, but that's the only part I'm going to go into. It's I was even when I read that, and I read it like 3 times, and I'm like, "What's that team name again?"
Yeah,
So
that might be a curdled goat tips or something like that, maybe. But so good race Monday night. It was definitely Daytona for sure. But that's what you expect. Tuesday night, I can't remember who won that race. I don't think it was that big a deal, honestly.
It really wasn't.
Yeah, there's a bunch of new folks in there. So, but Pat gets the win at Daytona, and I actually put the camera on you. I pulled up your webcam 1 lap too soon to try to get that reaction, and got you coming across the start-finish line, and I was like, he's not reacting at all. And it was the white flag, so I had to put the back.
Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah. No, I got your white flag reaction and the checkered flag reaction, and I'm not going to charge extra for that. So,
thanks.
Congratulations on the win. That was a pretty good win there.
Thank you. Yeah, it was exciting. I mean, I got wrecked 3 different times, and I was just surprised as anybody that I was actually able to bring that car home and win with it. But what an incredible race, to bring 40-something guys out there and put on a race like that. I think we had 7 cautions, maybe 8, which at the end of the day, with 40-something drivers out there, is actually really, really good. Had some awesome racing. So, but yeah, it was a good way to kick off the season for sure. Put that Hidden Wit Brewery, Camaro back in victory lane.
Yeah. Hidden Wit Brewing Company, Camaro, and the Hidden Wit Brewing Company Xfinity Series. And then Wednesday night, we all got to hang out and chat, and y'all just wouldn't stop yelling. It was unbelievable. Y'all were so mad the whole time, and gosh, I was so like, get out of here. But Jesse Whittington gets the win last night. It was definitely an interesting race for sure. Yeah, those next gen cars definitely kind of you don't get a draft, then all of a sudden you get a massive draft. You start pushing the draft, the speed difference will just be wild and crazy.
Yeah, it was incredible though. A lot of fun. Again, I mean, 30-something drivers on track, and to get out there and have that kind of a race to kick it off. Had some really good green flag runs, throughout the race as well. A lot of strategy, a lot of yelling. Like, why isn't this car going? Why isn't this line going? And then all of a sudden it takes off like a rocket ship. And you're like, well, now I'm in the wrong line, and you switch lines and that line dies and the other one. Yeah. So
then Jamie Perkins comes up and just cleans you out.
Just straight cleans you out. Not once. Didn't hit you once. Comes back for the second shot to make sure he did the deal. I don't get too wound up about, plate racing. I'm one of those weird guys that actually love plate racing. But when you get wadded up at these tracks, I mean, it's just a part of it. You kind of chuckle it off a little bit. You maybe say a few choice words and then, get back after it. But yeah, I finished that race with my wheel cocked about 45 degrees to the right. Not really tracking very well, but we got the job. Well, I say we got the job done. I think I finished 21st.
Nailed it.
I haven't finished a race yet this week, so there's that. I'm still trying to figure out how Gardner can take a header into the wall at full speed, but yet I'm the one that has too much damage to fix, and he drives away and was running up front, actually in contention for the win, after taking a headshot into the wall. Just one of those things, scratching my head about. That's the first time I've ever pulled into pits, and it just said, can't fix it.
They were just like, no, I'm not.
You're done. Forget it.
Forget it.
I mean, I drove it there. So I'm just, I'm really confused at how that played out.
It's like Days of Thunder. You get in there and he goes in there and clicks the tack, and you pegged it out.
Yeah. You're
well,
done.
Well, it's been a great week of racing, and y'all have kind of nailed it on the analysis. We know how Daytona is going to be, and for the field sizes that we've had, they've been really, really good races.
They have.
Yes, we all want every race to be green flag all the way, but it's just not going to happen. You got new folks in a lot of these races, and tonight was probably a very similar situation in the late model. You put late models at Bristol, and they had a pretty big field, I think, and it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. And Thomas Parker got the win. That's a name that I don't know. So a new guy comes out and kicks butt and wins over there in the late model series. So racing's been incredible this season. And then we've got the Friday night series coming up tomorrow night. It's going to be good. And then Sunday night's going to kick off for the NVETS. Let me just say the Operation Valor Friday Night Truck Series. Mm-hmm. And then NVETS on Sunday night for the NVETS Truck Series. Going to be exciting too. So you got trucks for the rest of the weekend and GT3 cars if you're running the 24. And the GT3 season starts up next weekend. So gonna be awesome, man. 7 nights a week of racing. Good gosh.
Don't remind me.
How who's doing all these races? How do y'all do this? That's one thing I want to know. I want to know these people that race every single race, while appreciated. How the heck do you do that?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, how long have we been around? What, 4 or 5? Are we
58 years. Oh, the Goat Locker.
Your
what
mouth, young lady.
So 4 years. 4 years we've been doing this.
Yep.
And 4 years ago, me and you couldn't even race. We were calling the races just to be able to tell people, hey, we had broadcast races. We were running one night a week Thursday night truck series was all we had. And now here we are, 3 different broadcasters running 7 nights a week. All these partnerships and sponsors and a podcast on Thursday nights now. This is crazy. It's insane. Partnership with iRacing. Our logo is going to be in iRacing.
Yep. It started with y'all, but it's being done with people, man. That's one thing that needs to be constantly shout out around here is all the people that have stepped up and made this stuff happen, because you two would go crazy if you tried to do it all. You know, Jake Ellingson been a huge part forever and continues to be a huge part. All the race control that has stepped up, all the folks who run and admin the other series. I mean, gosh, the people behind the scenes, the broadcasters, the partners, the folks that want to be a part of this. And you guys have built something that people want to be a part of. And once you do that, it all just kind of becomes, in a good way, overwhelming with, hey, what can I do? How can I fit in? I want to be a part of this. And, that's just really cool that it's gotten to that point. And I think it has. And I think it's going to exponentially continue. So I'm looking forward to that. And well, I think that's been a pretty good episode. I don't know if y'all have any news to give out. If not, I think we call it right there. I feel like we nailed everything that we wanted to talk about. Do y'all have anything else y'all wanted to talk about? Any topics you want to discuss?
I got one more. That's it. We talked a little bit last week, and you made a couple comments last week at the end of the show. Are you ever going to nail the dismount? So I have been waiting in anticipation for the end of this podcast to see how Eddie Smith is going to nail the dismount.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, bye, guys.
Do it.